going on, Jerome's NFL trade deadline is coming up, and the 3-2 Minnesota Fighting Vikings need to be buyers at the deadline, especially once they go to 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Who would have knew, right? And Kwesi, he's never been shy about making moves at the deadline. You look at Hawkinson, you look at the Cam Robinson trade, you look at 75 different Cam Akers trades, it's good to go, right? And the NFL trade deadline is Tuesday, November 4th this year, so it'll be right after the Vikings triumph in Detroit with the 4-game win. NFL trade deadline this year is Tuesday, November 4th, right after the Vikings triumph in Detroit. So 3 straight wins against the Eagles, Chargers, and Lions. The Vikings will be indeed 6-2 and just making a move. Love to see it. Actually, 4 straight wins because you count the Browns. Should have been 5, but nah. And the Vikings situation right now, so they do have a bulk of their own draft picks in 2026. First, second, third, which is kind of nice. You got that comp as third and fourth. Look at Darnold and Daniel Jones. 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo, good time. So the Vikings do have the draft capital, as well as you look at the rooster. The Vikings are kind of set, right? And obviously there's going to be moves in free agency, and obviously you do need depth in the draft. Plus, Kwesi has to start bringing in some of these drafts, but also if J.J. McCarthy and as well as Diamond Dallas Turner turn things around, it'll be good to go. But I feel like we're in a situation where it is indeed F them picks, right? The Vikings got $16.9 million, nice in cap space. Yes, 2026, the Vikings are underwater in terms of the cap, but as we've illustrated before, a couple extensions, couple of restructures, couple of cuts, and they'll be good to go, right? So here's five trade targets for the Minnesota Vikings. Number one, Sexy Dexy Lawrence. Although the Giants seem to be turning things around, maybe Lawrence doesn't want out anymore. I don't know. But pie in the sky, great against the run, great pass rusher as well. Tutelage of Andre Patterson, our guy. Probably not going to happen. But number one, Jackson Powers Johnson. So the pride of Oregon came to the league at 20 years old. Right, the Raiders aren't imploding. He's 22 years young, a 6'3", 320, 2024 second-round pick by the Raiders. Now, that was the previous regime, and Ziegler coming in, as well as Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. They're not really bought in on Jackson Powers Johnson. He should be playing center, been playing mostly right guard this season, 70.3 PFF grade, 4 pressures, 1 sack allowed, high football IQ, and he was a second-round pick. So I say, just offer a second rounder as a no muss, no fuss, swappy with the Raiders, where JPJ can play guard, obviously, but also you have your center of the future. And right now, Juergens is healthy. Is he the future? Brandel, hell, he could be the future at center. Ryan Kelly is clearly not, right? 2-year deal, older veteran. Could retire as well, probably should, but you do need to look forward to the future. And Darisaw Jackson Powers Johnson, Fries, and O'Neal. Ooh, spicy. That's a spicy meatball. I like that one a lot. Number 2, Quinnen Williams. Now, you could say that Quinnen Williams is up there with Sexy Dexy Lawrence, but I feel like this one's percolating. So the Jets are 0-6, and I understand the Jets are a bad football team, and trading away one of your premier players is probably a bad idea, but that's why they're not trading Sauce. I feel like Williams could be available. He's only 27, 40 career sacks, 55.5 stuffs in 96 games, which is good. A robust 91.6 PFF run defense grade, which is where the Vikings are lacking right now. 14 pressures and a sack so far this season. Offering, I don't know, the first and the second. The first this year, second in 2027. Maybe throw in Jonathan Allen. Don't know. Lots of options there, but definitely would freshen up the defensive line. Although I feel kind of good about the defensive line, especially if they keep giving more work to LDR. Jalen Redmond continues his strong level of play. Javon Hargrave's been a problem at times too. So, yeah. Jonathan Allen's been a problem, but in the other sense. Number 3, Tariq Woolen with the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks have a decision to make. They've basically benched Reek, and he is going to be eligible for an extension coming up, as he currently is in year 4 of his 4-year deal. but Woolen is only 26. He's a physical freak, 6'4", 205, long, strong, likes to get the friction on type cornerback. 2022 fifth-round pick out of UTSA. Go Roadrunners. Just rare physical size and ability, and it seems like the Seahawks are just sort of done with him, right? And it does seem like Kwesi has capitalized on market inefficiencies where you have a player that hasn't worked out somewhere, whether for one reason or the other, and bring him to Brian Flores, and baby, something could get going. Also, I don't know, a conditional fourth-round pick somewhere in there, even though, yes, the Vikings don't technically have a fourth right now, but you could make that a fifth, make that up to a conditional fourth once we fully get the Daniel Jones comp pick. Yeah. Next up, number 4, Jeffrey Simmons. Now, you could say Jeffrey Simmons is up there with Sexy Dexy Lawrence as well as Quinnen Williams, but also I do not care. Like, Jeffrey Simmons is just a bad dude, man. But he's 28, 2019, number 19 overall pick. Do not look up who was the number 18 overall pick that season. 6'4", 305, and he's been consistently one of the best pass rushing defensive linemen in the NFL. 36 career sacks, 4.5 this season, fighting the good fight on a very bad Titans team. They just fired their head coach. They could have a fire sale coming up. 14.1% pressure rate this season, which is phenomenal for a defensive interior. 77.4 career PFF run defense grade. Is in the midst of a 4-year, $94 million deal, $17.5 million base, so the Vikings would pick up a prorated amount of that. But also, he is under contract for 2 future years, of which there is zero goose egg DeAndre Russell guaranteed money. So, freshening up a new deal, working with the 2026 cap, could make sense. And I would put Jeffrey Simmons up there with the Quinnen Williams type deal, first and a third, maybe even first and a second, somewhere in there. All right. Lastly, number 5. So not exactly a blockbuster, but this is more sentimental. Like Hadi Ward. Did you know that he's with the Titans? Nobody knew, not even him. But definitely want to get our Jihad on again, even though defensive line wise, I feel like we're solid, but definitely could use a utility spark. Plus, Hadi can play on the edge as well. 31 pressures last season, as well as third on the team with 14 quarterback hits behind Grenard and Van Ginkel. Only recorded 1 sack, but also you hear players talk about Hadi last year and also Flores. Vibes wise, immaculate, right? And do need those glue guys in that mix as well, and also you could certainly use some more bodies on the D-line as well as on the edge, and plus someone who can consistently get their own pass rush. Yes, that would be good to go. But Kwesi, it's time, man. It's time to say F them picks and go for the pin. Hell, go after Sexy Dex. I don't care, man. Anyways, that's it. That's at 6. 5. Blockbuster trade targets for the Minnesota Vikings as we approach the deadline. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best to do. Skol, production value.